hi nobodies that don't watch me. It's okay. Um, what do I want to talk about today? Oh yeah, music therapy. Not well, maybe not music therapy. I was laying in the tub and I had been out for a drive today. I went and saw my camel. I don't actually have a camel. It's just in Arkansas you don't see camels. And there's this place that's on this nice little road that I like to drive. They have a fucking camel. So he's my camel. you know, so I see it. He's my camel. I'll go by there and when I see him, I'm just like, he doesn't belong here either. So, but they've made the most for him. He's got shade. He's got a pond. He's got a place that he's got like a shed that he goes into. He's doing fabulously. So I call him my camel. Anyway, I was thinking about the music I was listening to on my drive. And and now see, I separate my music. I mean, like my music has like it's all separated by genre, then separated by year. Like I've got a playlist of 90s, 80s, 70s, 2000s. Well, it had to be 2004, no, 2000 to 2004, and then 2005 to 2009, and then 2010 to 2014, and then 2014 to 2019 because I had too much stuff, and Google Play only allows you to have 1,000 songs on a playlist. Yeah, that's how much I'm into music that I had to separate a playlist because I had over 1,000 songs to put in that particular decade. Then I further separated out things that when I get something new, it goes into a folder. Right now, summer 2019, everything that goes on there is on there. And now I've started putting stuff in the August 2019. I mean, autumn 2019. Sorry, brain fart. Um, I've also got a dance playlist for stuff that I like to dance to. I have a sing playlist for the stuff I fucking love to sing. What else is there? Sing, dance. I think those are the only two that I separated for that. And then there's My Soul. Now, My Soul, that playlist is comprised of, they always say that my music can tell you more about me than I ever could. So I'm listening to that playlist as I'm driving around because I just wanted to be in that space of me. So, not that I just like myself. Because if you like yourself, you don't really need anybody else's approval. If I mean, I do need approval. I like it. But honestly, I have more fun by myself than I do with people. Maybe it's just an introvert thing. I don't know. But I get to do what I want, don't have to worry about anybody having a problem with it. So I was listening to my playlist and I was like sitting there going, oh my God, my soul playlist was telling me something. The stuff that I picked out, because you got to think the stuff that I picked out for the sing thing and dance, those are songs I like. Those are songs I like enough to where I'm like, I'm going to put them on my own separate playlist. But some of those didn't make the cut to my soul. And some of those on my soul didn't make the cut to one of those. So I was checking out what I had on there. And I'm not going to say, but enlightened by the things that I picked and the general theme, I was like, holy shit, I've been trying to tell myself stuff through music. That's kind of crazy, ain't it? Sounds crazy, doesn't it? But no, I mean, here's the thing. Your subconscious sees, hears, smells, tastes everything. Your conscious mind can only grab certain things. Like, if you're looking straight ahead, you might notice things in the peripheral, but you don't see them clearly. Your subconscious does. It knows everything that's going on around you. It knows everything that your conscious mind does not recognize. People who have DID, which is basically multiple personality disorder, their subconscious knows exactly what has happened to them. It knows what the alters do. So your subconscious is it is very in tune to what you need and what's going on. Whereas your conscious, sometimes you have trouble accessing information. That's why, when they've got a witness to something, they put them under hypnosis so that they can get more information. Because think about it, you're driving along all day, and there's no telling what you see that you don't notice as significant. But your subconscious sees everything. So you might see a man in a car, your subconscious knows the fucking license plate to that car if it was in your sight. Anything that you can see, hear, it knows it. So when I was looking at this, I was like, is that a sign? And then I'm like, well, that sounds kind of crazy. Why are you looking for signs? I mean, if you look for things, you'll find them. I mean, that's basic. It's a basic principle in life, is if you look for something, you'll find it. Like if you're looking for a sign from God and you just happen to look up at the clouds and you see a cloud that's shaped like a dinosaur, and you're like, okay, I need to go to the museum today. That's a sign from God. And if something good happens, you're like, hey, there's something to this. But you see things that you want to see. Like subconsciously, you already wanted to go to the museum. It just kind of let you see a dinosaur in the clouds. It kind of put that frame of mind into your conscious, or something like that. I'm not exactly sure how it works. Because see, I am not, when it comes to saying like the universe will do this, God, Allah, Buddha, or, center your chi, or we need to go to the sweat lodge and release our toxins, and, go organic, and then the psychic thing. And, when you look at all these abstract ideas that are in the world, most of the time I don't put much faith in them, but I think it's kind of funny when things just kind of swivel that way, and then you start to think, well, what if certain things are possible? Because I mean, really, the only thing, there are very few things that a person can say is impossible. Like, as far as, like, could you communicate telepathically? They can't prove or disprove that. Can you move things with your mind? It's possible. They haven't proved it's impossible. They just haven't proved that anybody's done it. So it's kind of like, well, what? Because I had an interesting experience the other day. I took a nap, and nap dreams are hit or miss for me on what I remember and how clear it is. Like sometimes they'll be crystal clear and very detailed, and other times those nap dreams, it's like, what the fuck? What was I even feeling for that? What was that? Like you have no clue if it was a good dream, bad dream, mediocre dream. And the other day I woke up and I was like, candy in pockets. Just like, okay, totally random fucking thought, right? And then I get an email and somebody's like, well, I'm having a rough day because some inmates put red candy in pockets. And I was like, okay, that's just weird. And, and I was like asking them, I was like, hey, does this happen a lot? Because, like, maybe you mentioned something and maybe worked its way in there. And I'm just like remembering that. And that didn't happen like during my nap. And, because it's nap sleep is very hazy. Uh, so I was like, that's weird. And then when you think of all those deja vu moments, it's like, well, am I just doing the same? Like, am I just happening to be there doing the same thing enough to where I look down and say, I've seen this before because I've done this before? I mean, it makes you question, like, what is possible? Is it possible to see things before they happen? Now, of course, with deja vu, like when I have it, it's not, I mean, it'll be like I'll sit there and see something and go, okay, then this is going to happen. Then this, then this. And I'll see it. But like if somebody's talking, I may not remember the conversation. Like I don't know what they're going to say to me, but I know that they're going to come talk to me, and when I think about, okay, I've never met that person before. So how did I know? How did I see them approaching me as deja vu? So it's like, how can I say it's impossible? Because it's always possible. Do I think people are psychic or have intuitions? It's possible. Do I think that the people who make money at it are real? No, I don't. They had a guy, I cannot remember his name, but he always offered, like, I think he offered $1 million if you could do something that couldn't be explained. Like if, like he wanted to see people who could actually perform magic or who were actually psychic, and he would debunk them. And so nobody ever got paid that money. So a lot of people think that, if it's possible, then why didn't he ever come across somebody? But then again, you also got to think, if a person was like that, would they really want the world to know? Because think about what that would bring. Yeah, you'd have fame, but you'd also be stalked if you were psychic, because people would say, they proved that she's a psychic, so I have to have her help me with this. You wouldn't be able to help everybody that come at you. You wouldn't be able to leave your house. It would just be overwhelming. And any person with half a brain would realize this, that and then you get to thinking about, well, what's the government going to do? Or science. Are they going to want to make me like a test subject, like lock me up and run tests on me to see how I do it? Where is this coming from? You don't know what road that's going to take you down. So maybe there are people that are psychic, truly, but they keep that on the down low because they don't want all that trouble. They just want to help when they want to help. I'd do it. And who's to say that everybody doesn't have that ability? We just don't nurture what it takes to obtain a certain level. Maybe there's only certain people who have the capacity for it. I mean, Indian men and stuff, medicine men, they used to see all kinds of stuff and prophesize. There's always been people who would make up prophecies. And it's kind of, and not just like the vague stuff, like say Nostradamus was fairly vague. So, it's kind of like the Bible. You could interpret it differently than some people just by reading it a certain way. You can say, oh, he predicted Hitler. Well, I'm sure there's some spot in the Bible where they where you could say, oh my God, the Bible predicted Hitler. There's probably a space in the Quran, some passage in the Quran where somebody could say, oh, they're talking about Hitler. So when you're not clear, unless Nostradamus would have said a man named Hitler will come in power in Germany and cause World War II, unless it's specific like that, it's kind of like, maybe he was just a smart man who said, hey, This is what is eventually going to happen. This is what I see happening because I've got ideas. I'm a smart man, or something. I don't know. But anyway, my music selection tells me something that I'd been struggling with. And my subconscious, it's like my subconscious said, here's your answer. Here's your problem. And I'm like, my mind was blown when I was sitting in the tub and thought about it. And I said, oh my God. But still, it is a little crazy. And I don't necessarily believe in signs, as far as, I'll give them some credit. I'll give them some, like, okay, this is possible that this is a sign. But as far as proof, it's not proof to me. It's more along the lines of kind of like when somebody gives you a pat on the back, you might know you did a good job, but when they give you a pat on the back, it's like it's definitely somebody else saying good job. So it's kind of confirmation that you did a good job. And that's how I look at signs. It's confirmation that you're on the right path. But you can be on any path and see signs. So anyway, that's it for me tonight. Seriously, like if you're on Google Play, like if you upload your own music to that, or if you've got some kind of thing where you've got your own music on there, listen to your stuff and say, which ones do I really love? Which ones are like, I can easily listen to them 2 or 3 times in a row and not be tired of them. And I'm not talking about something that's brand new, something that's like stood the test of time. And see what your song list says about you. Might be telling you something. So that's my take. And I will see you tomorrow probably. So have a good night.